Hello, everyone. Happy 11/11. I'm so excited here to have a new sister, Jennifer Ashira Raw, as we discuss 11/11 and how the new leaders of the new Golden Age codes are being activated within us. So, Jennifer, can you please share with us a little bit more about who you are and what you do in the world?
Hello, Anastar. I'm so grateful to be with you and to share. And just want to take just a breath for all that are tuning in right now. Just through the nose, the sacred union breath. Find masculine linear breath through the nose and hold for a second, and then the divine feminine through the mouth as we start to anchor and open sacred space in our conversation. And yeah, I'm so grateful. I'm on the planet to activate the leaders and the way showers and the initiators of the new golden age. I take those that have done some of the foundation work and they're wanting to activate higher, and they activate into their highest masteries and timelines because the new golden age needs divine leadership, and it's us. The golden age starts from within us.
Yes, it is. And yes, it does. Can you tell us a little bit about Light Priestess Temple? I know that you do like every other Thursday or once every month.
Yes, Light
Yeah.
Priestess Temple is our portal, our website, and
Uh-huh.
I was guided to call it that because it's no phylums anymore. It's just beings and priestesses and priests of light. And so we have a portal for gathering. We do free Light Temple Thursdays online to gather the community, Sisterhood of Raw, and many different connections for the new community of light, so we can all find each other. And we do a lot online and in-person activations, gatherings, immersions to really bring in the new codes.
Amazing. Yeah. And so you mentioned the Sisterhood of Raw. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Sisterhood of Raw, well, that is my family. So a little bit
Yeah.
about me is I built a clothing brand in Los Angeles. I was in the masculine world completely.
Okay.
And right after 2012, this voice came in. It wasn't me. And it said, "Oh, you're done here." I was like, no. I've worked 15 years. I'm not happy. I'm dry inside. All I do is work. But no. And then I'm not going to stop what I'm doing. It was actually financially very successful. But I slowly we agreed, and I had to be unwound from that way of being, and then almost like a personal walk-in. And then I was remade, and I thought, oh, 2 years. Well, it took about 4 to 5 years. And now it's, 7 years later. And now, about only 2.5, 3 years ago, did finally, who I really am start coming in. And my name means giver of codes. And my sister is Sekhmet, my Isis, my father and partner are Ra. That is my family. We are, as you move higher in the light, and you get bigger jobs, and one of the biggest jobs is you get a swath of universe and you create a galaxy, and that is the galaxy we walk in with the sun, one of the many suns. Mercury, Earth, Pluto, Jupiter is the galaxy of union. You're either moving away toward union or towards union or away from union, and that is the school that we are in. And there's a lot more to it than that, but it's these golden beings that created that, and that's who my family is. And I took a vow of solitude and service to walk on this planet in many incarnations to hold the codes. And so this life, I'm able to actually give the codes, and I actually was released from the solitude part. so I can actually be in this life. So I'm like, yay.
Yeah.
So that is a little bit about me. And for the rest of my days, I will be walking the planet, activating, and I see a table with 13 lights around it, and I see the queens. I see it starts with the divine feminine, and I see 13 queens that are on this planet, and they come from different realms, and we will gather and become this leadership. And then from there, it will be hundreds of thousands, millions. I even see physical sanctuaries across the planet before I leave this planet. It'll be not just online. It will be a complete way of being, is where we can go and be together.
Beautiful. Yeah, one of my favorite authors on a star. I'm sorry. That was a Freudian slip. I love that. I'm writing books right now. So Lara on Ra, she has written several books that I adore. One of them called The 1111 Doorway. And
Mm.
she calls these particular nodes of light the islands of light. Right.
Mhm.
And so there's these family nodes that are occurring and coalescing around the world, whether they're a sustainable community based, like land based project, whether it's
Mhm.
a virtual experience. But the point is that we're creating these nodes of light. And so much of
Mhm.
that is being done by grid work at the sacred sites. And I know that you
Mhm.
just recently came back from Greece. Can you tell us
Mhm.
a little bit about some of the work that you were doing there?
Well, it's all leading to activating the new leaders for the new golden age and what we're going to
Mm.
be doing today on 11/11. I'm so excited. I love this portal. Greece was amazing. It started on 555 portal this year at the
Mm-hmm.
Isis Temple of Egypt, where we opened the new human kind of light. And that became, and they don't show me, sometimes they show me everything and sometimes they don't. Well, this one, they didn't show me
Mm-hmm.
everything. It became a diamond portal or like a yoni portal where the
Yep.
Isis temple was the base. Then we went to Turkey. We walked the eastern ley line, which Mother Mary walked, because we all know Mary Magdalene walked
Mm-hmm.
to Scotland and south of France and activated that because the divine feminine activates the physical ley lines, and the divine masculine, Yeshua, came back in his light body and he was activating the Christ grid around the planet. But Mary
Mm-hmm.
Magdalene went one way, Mother Mary went the other. And I didn't know about Mother Mary walking through Turkey and gridding. And so we
Uh-huh.
went to some of her two sites. They didn't show us
Mm-hmm.
everything. We had to literally find it. And me and three of us, two sisters. We created a trinity, and we activated it. There's many checks and balances to all of this, and it leads up to 11/11. And then we went to Greece. I was called to go to Greece, to the island of Lesbos, which I
Uh-huh.
had never heard of. Lesbos, actually, I've been to Greece
Mm.
many times, but Lesbos has been off, it's not been connected to any of the ley lines because it's the royal epicenter of the Golden Sun tribe. So if Mount
Uh-huh.
Olympus was the royal palace of the Greek Olympians, like Zeus and
Mm-hmm.
Hera,
Mm-hmm.
this is the earthly, one of the earthly palaces of the Sun Temple of Ra and Sekhmet and Horus and
Wow.
Osiris and Isis and Anubis and all of them, and many that we don't have their names because they're not inhabiting incarnating bodies here. Some are, some aren't. So that got activated, and the new Sun Queen was inaugurated. And the palace, I saw it on the plateau in Scala Oressos of Lesbos. And it was about a 2-month project. And then we had the Sisterhood of Raw retreat on Greece.
Right.
We amplified it.
Mm-hmm.
And then that started to merge with all the other ley lines for Giza and Sacré-Cœur and Sedona and Glastonbury. And it became part of the family again
Uh-huh.
because the royal codes were so highly coveted that they couldn't be, it's part of this new human kind of light in this galactic, because we hold the codes for the galaxy on this planet. We're a very
Yep.
special planet.
Mm.
And they're the royal codes. So it's like the higher. So like we got Kundalini in sacred sexuality for the last 4,000 years. Well, that's the lower bridge to get us to the higher light conception. And same with many
Mm.
of the modalities like DNA. DNA is no longer. We opened the pillars of light at the Temple of Isis, and that's this portal is opening this with the divine feminine. And what's
Mm.
amazing is last 11/11, 2020 in Bali, they um, initiated me for over a year in seeing that I would hold my weight. The medicine women of Mu who protect the Lemurian crystal held above Bali are very tough. And it's in the temple
Ah.
of Bali because Bali is its own ley line. So Atlantis
Mm-hmm.
had a crystal also of all the
Mm-hmm.
galactic, how to build a golden age galaxy and planet. And they blew theirs up. And then they had no access to any of the codes because they went off their vows and they
Yeah.
manipulated, and only Lemuria had theirs. And so that was the last war, was Atlantis trying to get the Lemurian codes of the, like how to create the golden age and how to create a galaxy, all
Mm.
the templates. But they didn't win, of course, because what Lemuria already knew, and they split it into 1 billion crystal templates. And so that's what's above Bali, is this crystal that holds all of the codes. So we opened that, the New Earth template, on 11/11 last year. And what's
Mm.
amazing is this whole year has been humankind rising to meet that with, if you look back at what you've been doing, since 11/11 last year. It's a lot of personal work, a
Yep.
lot of things coming to the surface, a lot of humans clearing and
Yep.
delineation with all we're going through with
Mm-hmm.
the falsities we're being told, on the news
Mm.
and things. Like, are you believing it or are you listening to yourself? It's kind of a
Mm-hmm.
delineation of who is going to move into the human kind of light. And
Mm.
so, because you have to move into that consciousness to receive the highest codes. And so
Yeah.
now 11/11 this year, 2021, is the new union, the new earth template that's been sitting waiting for us, meeting with the new human kind of light. And yet we need that amplification of all of us. Your beautiful event, we're an event right now for
Mm-hmm.
11/11, the Golden Stargate, and all the brothers and sisters across the planet. Until we all come together, the highest codes don't come in. We can't
Mm.
sit and download in a cave any longer by ourselves. You
Mm-hmm.
won't hear people saying, "Oh, I downloaded that like on Saturday in my journal." That'll become very passe. It'll be like, "Oh, you're still working by yourself?" Like, no, like
Mm.
we come together and getting the ego out of the way. We're all
Mm-hmm.
masters, and you're all masters and leaders. There's no
Mm-hmm.
guru student anymore. I'm not higher, you're not higher. We all have
Mm.
different gifts. And all I
Mm-hmm.
can do is create places where you can come and remember who you are. Remember,
Mm.
beloved, who you are, the master,
Mm.
you have been initiated into the highest realms of light. And I just got chills. So that's a yes.
Right.
You can remember so you can go higher
Yep.
and you can move into your highest timeline.
I love that. Yeah, and I like to use the phrase "we member." We're we membering who we
Yeah.
are, right? Because we are all connected and we're all one energetically in all the ways. And
Yes.
multi-dimensional beings of light inside this 3D matrix to have a human experience and to move through the behavior patterns or the old timelines and things that need to just be cut and released and surrendered so that we can
Mhm.
move into our higher timeline of the 5D experience together here on Mothership Earth. And I just love the work that you're doing in the world. Thank you. Deep out
Oh,
gratitude
thank
for
you,
that,
beloved.
sister. Since the
Um,
moment we started talking, I was like, yes, we're doing the same work. Like this mission, this vision is so much bigger than any one individual, and we are collectively doing it together. And
we
so laying
are.
that grid work is so important.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
and so when you go to a sacred site, that's 99% of it is you are
Mm-hmm.
going and that
Just being
land
present.
is
Yeah.
activating you and you have probably
Yeah.
walked in that temple. If you're attracted to a certain place on the planet, there's no accident. If you're like,
Yeah.
"Wow, I really want to go to India. It's just speaking to me." I would bet that you have walked in that temple,
Mm-hmm.
you have been a high priestess, a high priest, initiate of that lineage, and you were
Mm-hmm.
going to get codes you left for yourself there, and you're going to
Exactly.
remember. And so we've had many, many millions of incarnations. So you might have drawn to many places, but really
Mm.
listen to your intuition, your divine feminine energy within you speaking to you, because when you go and you activate and you remember, you're allowing those codes to come online again within
Mhm. Mhm. Yeah, it's so important. I was recently in Egypt and Turkey myself this year
you.
in March and April. And when I traveled through Egypt, I actually brought little pieces of an amethyst, a larger amethyst I had at home. I cut pieces off of it and took that with me. And any temple that I really resonated with and felt like I wanted more codes from, I would insert that piece of amethyst somewhere and just leave these seed stones along the path so I can really tune into
Oh, I
them
love
when
that.
I'm at home in front of the original amethyst. And so I feel like when I was at specific sites, I
Mhm.
literally could feel full body truth bumps over my entire body.
Mhm.
And when I was in Turkey and I went to Mother Mary's house, let's
Mhm.
see, it was not outside Istanbul,
Outside
but
Ephesus.
Ephesus. There you go.
Mhm.
We visited Ephesus on the same day.
Mhm.
But I went in and the cloth that was on the table with all the candles and the flowers had an A on it with a crown on top of it. And it was just like this symbol or this signal of like, yes, come into those royalty codes of what it is that I'm here to do and bring into
Mhm.
the world. And it just cracked me open in a way that I
Mm.
never expected. I really enjoyed Turkey. I just followed the 1111s, just followed the synchronization path. We were going to go to a specific hotel. We were tired. They didn't have food. And so we started researching another hotel. We found one close to the water. And when we arrived, the sign itself, it was avant-garde, and the logo was an 1111. And so I'm just
Wow.
like, just kept following the 1111. And when I was
Uh-huh.
at Mother Mary's, I actually went into the where you purchase little things, and I bought little statues for my Portal Priestess group, and they were Mother Mary, and they looked like the yoni. There was only a few items that looked like a yoni, and I went up and purchased 11 of them, and it was $111.11. I am not kidding you. So it's like, just keep following the path, keep following where your heart guides you. And if
Mm.
you want to go to these specific sites, this is
Mhm.
part of the evolution. It's part of your work. It's part of 1111 Unified and so many others in the community. We are going to be gathering at these sacred sites to activate them and be activated by them.
Yes,
Yeah.
and, with all that's been going on, I have gathered people this entire time for 18 months in
Mm-hmm.
Bali, in America, in Europe, in Egypt, and every time it works out. I've never had to cancel anything or
Mm-hmm.
postpone
Mm-hmm.
anything. I know the importance of gathering and also being on sacred land and going because it's activated me. That's
Yeah.
part of my path. When I was just starting to remember, my first job was activating the Russian Gulch waterfall in Mendocino, which is a beautiful Shakti vortex that links Mount Shasta to Kauai, and you need to come up a little bit in
Really?
energy. And that was my first job. And I showed up every other day for 30 days. Some days I didn't feel like it, but I went anyway. And at the end, I see like tunics. I see rectangles, and it's a tunic. It's a master. Someone's here. I don't see the whole picture.
Mm.
And it was Saint Germain, and he anointed me. And at the end, they never give it to you at the beginning. They make sure you show up. And he's like, "Oh, I
Yeah.
hadn't known you, but you did your work. You showed up. Now you get the blessing." And I was like, "Wow!" And so, and then I like your name goes out across the Rainbow Bridge, and all these different beings and native genealogies start coming to me, and it was my starting to remember who I was. And then now it's just
Mm.
prolific, different
Yeah.
incarnations, different realms I've led, different things. And I think a lot of that for a lot of us is the power and the abilities we have already mastered. And
Mm.
when I tell people, you're a master, they're like, wait, that has to get in through the I don't feel I'm good enoughness stuff and
Mhm.
all of that, because 1111 is like a double portal. It's literally like four columns in a temple, and then the codes just
Mhm.
come right down through them,
Yep.
right into you. And it's angelic master number, it's new beginnings, but it's also like the double doorway opening, and everything is in double encodements. And so you're
Mhm.
getting like double the power. And so that's why it's such an
Mhm.
incredible day to put into your manifestation, to start opening to what is who you really are, what
Mhm.
is coming in for you, what
Mhm.
is possibly new gifts that you have never had before. Additions to if you have clairvoyance, you will get
Yes.
a bump up. It's moving into your highest timeline upgrades and new templates, new blueprints. That is what
Mhm.
1111 is in what I've
Yeah.
experienced and what I see. And it's so powerful.
Yeah, we're definitely on the same path in that sense. I feel like the 1111 Codex is really coming through. It's the book that I'm channeling right now. And one of the things that I mentioned in it is that 1111 means something different for everyone, right? We
Mhm.
all have our own experience of it. Some people make a wish, some people say a prayer, some people just tune in and tap in that moment and will channel or write or draw or dance, whatever it is that you feel called to do in those 1111 moments. But when we gather together as a group on this day and at those portal moments of 11:11 a.m. and 11:11 p.m., and we're in a synchronized sacred circle ceremony meditation together, anything that we're calling in our life just gets amplified. And
Mhm.
so we want to be careful of how we ask for things and what we're visualizing. And when we're in that collective field, magic is possible. So, what would you like to share with us as some of your magic moments with 1111?
Well, I would say probably last year we gathered, it was so many, it was like over 100 in Bali. And we brought in the New Earth template after I had walked for over a year in them initiating me and preparing me for
Mm-hmm.
something that is so held in secret. I had to travel from island to the different Komodo islands to get approvals to go to a control center in the back of a
Mm.
waterfall. I mean, it was a lot of checks and balances. I found something on one island, picked it up, took it. They said, "This is your key." I took it to another island and it literally fit into a slot underneath a waterfall like a key. It was like out of a
Wow.
fantasy book. It was
Yeah.
so
Uh-huh.
beautifully orchestrated by Source because it only could be me that did it and it had to be no manipulation. And so I would
Mm-hmm.
say for me is activating this incredible group that now look at what's reverberating is now 1111. We're now going to merge what we did last year with this year
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and create this like incredible trinity, like this birth, because we have two coming together, creating a multidimensional trinity, Merkabic field. And so
Mm-hmm.
I would say that experience, we did a blessing in the waters of the mermaids. Where we were was in the waters last year with the mermaids. And I've never worked so closely with the mermaids. And I love swimming as a little girl. And you kind of start to forget, right? And I never was shamed for any of that, but you kind of push it down in a masculine growing up in our country where it's a very
Mm-hmm.
masculine country. And I kind of forgot it. And I
Mm-hmm.
remembered on 11/11. And I would say 11/11 was my launching to really stepping into who I really am because I'm being very reluctant to be visible. It's not my happy place. And it's really hard for me to I'd rather be behind the scenes and just tell
Mm-hmm.
someone like, let someone else run the show. I don't
Mm-hmm.
need any of the attention or the accolades or the, like like that pressure when you're live, like it better be
Yeah.
good, right? I'd rather just do it pre-record, like write it down. So I do write down some of my channeling because I'm
Mm-hmm.
double Libra and I'll forget everything. So, yeah, but I would say I've had to make peace with that. And I am more at peace with being visible. And I understand it's part of this job
It
is
is.
for us, if we're going to be leaders and step and show the truth, not through preaching, but through our energy when we walk in a room or how we lead our life or the things we
By
embody,
example.
is
Mm-hmm.
you have to be visible. You have,
Mm-hmm.
it's just part of it. We're in the 3D ness with a body. We have a carbon body that's moving more to light. But that's been my biggest thing. And I feel Bali was kind of they birthed that in me with the beautiful
Mm-hmm.
community there and my sisters and brothers there. And it allowed me I ran a clothing business. I can tell anyone what to do. I had no problem, let me tell you. But this is so different.
Uh-huh.
Samskaras in our wounds in our field, like we know it's 2021, 11/11. We can gather, we're safe. Our
Yeah.
body remembers times when it wasn't safe. And I
Mm-hmm.
remember times when it wasn't safe. And and so I had to heal that, and that takes a little time. And
Yep.
so if anyone resonates with that and remembers, sister turned on sister, when consciousness declined after the age of Gemini, a lot of the codes were removed from the planet, especially when Atlantis blew
Mm-hmm.
up 12,000 years ago. A lot hasn't come back. It is
Mm-hmm.
now coming back. They are opening up
Mm-hmm.
the treasure chest for us because
Mm.
this is the time the dark energies are being removed. They're almost all removed from the planet. And when that comes out, those truths of what's been happening behind the scenes on planet
Mm-hmm.
Earth with the Sun King, he's been on the planet for about 8 years. The new Sun Queen was just coronated this year. But the Sun King has been in military operations to remove all that has been on this planet for 25,000
Mm-hmm.
years. It's
Wow.
infiltrated every governmental office, every religious,
Mm.
everything. And so that's been removed. So when those truths come out, they've shown me this wave. And this wave is coming of people where they can't hold on to the side of the pool. Like, I have my job, I have my daily routine, I'm safe. Like I'm not
Mm,
thrilled, but I'm safe. Well, when they learn that maybe they've been lied to and maybe there's been a lot of untruths that they've been sold,
mm,
wow, they're going to have to unlock their fingers from the side of the pool. And what are they going to do? Where are they going to go? Well, they can't go back to where they've been. They
yeah.
don't, I mean, who knows what those they've been told
Mm,
not the truth. They're
mm,
looking for the new leadership. They're looking
mhm,
for the new safe place that is really going to tell the truth and is of pure source. And that's who
mhm,
you are. You are
mm,
the leaders. If it's your community, if it's your
mhm,
you have events you do, or you just hold light and you are a beautiful mother at home, or you run a business, or you are a father, or your brother or sister, you're holding light. And so people are going to feel that and come to you. And that's
mm,
why we need to activate and come together on 11/11. Why we're coming
mhm,
together today is to move us
mm,
all higher, like in Bali, where last year they really helped me move higher, and
mhm.
to um, really get more confidence and to trust myself and to trust what I've been shown, because they'll show me where to go. And I'm like, I'll just do it. I'm like, what am I doing? I'm really scared. Like, what am I doing? And then I have this confidence now because, we've done more events. I've come
Mhm,
and I'm more
mhm,
visible.
mhm.
I have come to where I can embrace it more. And it only comes through um, honoring who you are and listening.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's
Me
my
too.
11/11, and so now we're here at 11/11
Yeah.
again,
Yeah.
and it's just like this. I see it like a space, a rocket just taking off.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Well, I don't know if I shared this with you yet, but I was born at 11:12 p.m. So I came through the 11:11 portal into this incarnation.
Wow.
My husband and I have been hosting an 11:11 gathering. This will be our 12th year. And so
Wow.
for the first 10 years, it started in our home. It was called Unification Celebration. And then it grew to bigger homes and then to a retreat center. We got remarried the weekend of 11/11/11 to 11/13/11. We had a 3-day mini
Wow.
festival retreat. And then we got remarried again 11/11/2016. So it's now our unification ceremony anniversary as well. And so we get remarried every 5 years so that we can renew our vows because life shifts and
Wow.
changes. So our vows change. And this year would
Mhm.
have been our 15th year, but we're actually extending it to next year where we'll be in Egypt. We're
Mm.
going with some beloveds and even some of you if you want to join us.
Mhm.
It's October 24th to November 14th. And our
Mhm.
plan, or what we have mapped out, is that we will be at the Temple of Isis on 11/11. We have rented out the island of Philae for that evening so we can be at the Temple of Isis on 11/11 at 11/11 2022. So I know we'll be there. You're going to be on the other side of the planet in Hawaii, right?
Mhm. I mean, just the Isis temple, I walking in there, when I stood in the Isis temple, it felt like home. I was just like when
Me
we did
too.
this year. And then when I
Yeah.
was standing in Crete, one of the points of the diamond portal of humankind of light, that I was walking in with sisters and community for 4 months and just got back. When I stood in the Festos palace in Crete, at the Temple of Hera, and they said it was closed, I literally had to kind of sneak in under it, like they showed me a fence I could go under, spirit did, and I did. And when I stood there with my ankh, I saw my dress. I saw that I had stood there before, and I
Mhm.
had made a vow that I'd come back when it was time to rebirth and the planet was ascending. And I had to stand there at that point. I only stood there for 3 minutes, and I stood there. Um, and then I remembered by doing that, I fulfilled my own prophecy. And I didn't know that
Mm.
until I stood. And so that's why these sites and going to Egypt, if you're feeling called to go to Egypt, or you're feeling called to go to Glastonbury, or
Mhm.
Machu Picchu or Peru,
Mhm.
it's because there's codes and there's remembrances for you. And
Yes.
it's so important to follow that and to take the time off work and to go and to be,
Yeah.
because this going into the golden age is going to be about what's the energy dimension you're at, and
Mhm.
what
Mhm.
the codes that you can receive,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
we do it together.
Yeah, and yeah, well, part of the mission and the vision of 1111 Unified is that we continue to take sacred pilgrimages to these sacred sites so that
Mhm.
we collectively have a group of people at the sacred sites on 1111. And
Yes.
so we'll be at the pier, or we'll be at the Temple of Isis next year. You'll be in Hawaii. Others will gather at other sacred points and
Mhm.
chakra points, meridian points on the planet. And if
So
we're
amazing.
gritting it and doing the work together, and reactivating, they've been sitting dormant for so long. Like, they are there for a reason. Some of them are portals, maybe to another dimension or another
Mhm.
galaxy, or I could walk through the portal at Isis and
Mhm.
see you in Hawaii. Like, who knows what happens when we actually raise the frequency of ourselves to
Mhm.
and shift the frequency collectively at the site, that a doorway might open.
Oh,
And so
yeah.
I,
That's what they're teleportation chambers.
uh-huh.
That's in Bali, they would have a 9 above it because the numerology of 9 is the energy they would use to teleport. They were all traveling back to where they came from, or they'd go to Brazil, or they'd go to different dimensions. And absolutely, um,
Yeah.
that those travels are possible. And next year,
Yeah.
what's so amazing, you're mentioning the portals, is the new union portal. We are actually gathering on, it's 222, February 22nd,
Okay.
6/6, and 11/11. And it's the new union is going to be, and the new master kings and queens are going to be coronated as well. So it's really a lot that we're opening. I feel this today, this 11/11 is launching into where we're going to be moving into light conception, where we're going to just create through our divine feminine that we all have
Uh-huh.
within us.
Mm,
And the
mm,
priestesses always carried that, and we're always the
mhm,
anointers of that. And so the divine feminine goddess always rises at the beginning of a new age. And so that is where you feeling, the men are feeling the divine feminine within them. The women are stepping into their priestess memories and the
mhm,
goddess memories they carry.
mhm,
And it's
mhm,
all part of birthing this new
mm,
golden age of light that we are a
mm.
part of, and that we have incarnated to come and rebirth again.
I love that. Let's circle back for a moment, because I don't like to step over anything. You presenced the idea of, we've been through being ostracized, or put to death, or the worst of the worst for our magic. And
Mhm.
especially those who are holding the priestess codes
Mhm.
may have been a witch in their past life, and were demonized or shamed or criticized, or they couldn't make a living helping share their magic in the world. And so there's a lot of karmic and ancestral healing that is happening through
Mhm.
a lot of the priestess codes coming in now. And so if you were to speak to somebody right now who is having those memories, what would be one thing that you would say to them to clear those memories and complete those contracts from those timelines and those past lives, so that they could step into their light and their power in this life?
Oh, what a beautiful question. I'm gonna get my bowl
Thanks.
because I
Okay.
wanna chime, because
Oh,
that is a
yes.
very, very big theme in most of our lives. And so this is a 4 alchemy bowl. It is
It's gorgeous.
Lemurian, Sedona Red Rock, Rose Lineage, Platinum, and Rose Ocean Gold. And I just want you to just take this in, and I will answer that question. Let this frequency. What I would say is I went through that too.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the person that invited me to the island in Greece ended up being someone who had killed me in a previous life, and had telling me while I was in Greece, looking at this person, that, oh, your competition, you can't run an event on this island. There's just not enough hotels. I'm like, that sounds kind of crazy. And we don't do that here. We work together. We all, and I was thinking, well, I kind of don't want to work with you, you know? And I found out that I saw my body being cut by a sword by the same being in a previous life. So we had to walk and do that dance again. And this is just a few months ago. And so I had to face that. I had no friends on that island. I had come to that island thinking I was going to work with this person. And I was killed because I was competition. I was showing my light.
Yeah.
So how many of us show our light and we're like, and that person doesn't want to be with us anymore. I've had that happen in this life where I show my light and I'm so in channeling, and then that person's like, well, you took my light, like you took my thunder. Like, what'd you do? And I don't know. I was just in the moment channeling. Well, no, there's this fear that if we step in your light, I'm stepping on someone. So how many of us edit ourselves already before I better like keep myself here because then everyone will like me and I won't get in trouble. I won't get hanged. I won't get dismembered. I won't get ostracized. I remember lives when I spoke up as a woman. I was an owned woman. Like I said, I couldn't be in union, but I was married. I was a chattel of the masculine of my husband. And I was ostracized, and I saw myself being told to leave the community. Well, if you leave the community, you have no food. It was like a sand kind of a dwelling kind of community. I'm sure I died when I was kicked out, and all the women circled around me and they couldn't help me. They felt so bad, but they couldn't do anything. And they also stood behind the ruling. So I have seen myself being kicked out. I've seen myself killed. And so, yeah. Oh, let's have a moon circle. Oh, no, I don't think so. I think I'll pass on the moon circle next month because your body remembers something else. When I did my first circle in Northern California, I had wished I had just gone to the dentist instead. I was like, 2 more days, 1 more day. Oh my God, it's tomorrow. And then I scheduled another one a month later. I'm like, what am I doing? I did one. I'm done for the rest of my life, And because it was such a dread to gather because I remembered. And so, beloved, you're not alone. That being visible and being absolutely taken off planet because you stood in your light and you shared and you come from such a pure place is to remember that and to heal that so you can join us again and be your pure light. Because without your pure light, we can't walk into the golden age. We don't need the people that want to be seen and, oh, look at me and come because I'm so great. And if you hear that, just know that's a new teacher. Ones that want to really be seen, and you know what I mean. They got some new teachings this life and they're really excited. Like maybe they were initiate for 1,000 lives and now this is their first life. So someone that really doesn't want the spotlight, but has all the wisdom, like a sadhu, they have just the waistcloth and their bowl, but they have like these amazing wisdoms, like Maharishi Ramada, someone who just doesn't even need the spotlight. That is a leader who's done it 1,000 times because they don't need it anymore. And so like for me, I'm so reluctant to be visible because I remember being hurt, but also I don't need it or want it. Like if they said, Jennifer, you're just going to go live in a cabin now. We're going to have someone else do this. I'm like, yay. Okay, great. I'll do it. I don't hold any of it. So I just want you to look at who you're listening to also, and that your purity there's no certificate or leadership training or yoga training or I don't have any certificates. I get it all directly from source. And that's what you want to listen to is who is your source guide and listening to it. And I know they're going to be wanting you to be more visible, write that book, do that artwork, step into your clairvoyance. Maybe you're a channel, maybe you see things, and maybe you're a musician and you've been just singing in the bathroom and you have a beautiful voice and you need to share it and you're just like, I don't know. Well, come in the circle of all of us and remember and find your soul tribe, find the people that love you and honor you and have so many coincidences and synchronicities with you and hold you in light. And that's what helped me give me my confidence was the beautiful community in Bali helped me in like an incubator with my baby
Mhm.
steps
Mhm.
to
Mhm.
I knew it in my head, but to
Mm.
really hold an event and say the things I was gonna do, I was almost like, "They're gonna think, 'Who is that girl? Who does she think she is?'" Well, now but I know who I am now,
Yeah.
and I know where I get my codes from. They come from a billion years of walking this path, and
Mhm.
so no one can, sway me anymore, and I'm
Mhm.
so much stronger, and I had to step in my light with that situation that just happened in Greece with the person that invited me to that island, and that was really hard. That took 5 weeks of just sitting on that island, and I thought, "Oh, I'm just gonna leave the island. I don't need to be here." And then Source
Yeah.
was like, "Okay, so you're just gonna be the same woman at the next island, but you're still not
Mm.
gonna have healed this, and
Mm.
you if you stand in your light and you stand for what you believe in, you're going to grow." And so I
Mhm.
did, and I stood in my light, and I didn't move from the island, and I it was my initiation.
Oh my gosh, sister,
Yeah, so I just went through that,
yes, so
and
did I. So did I on my recent trip, on my pilgrimage to
yeah.
Egypt. And it's just like, as you were speaking, it just resonated so deeply with me that I'm completely and utterly moved that we have such a
Mm,
similar story and
yeah.
being challenged by, like, literally, I just got images of, oh, that's what happened.
Mhm.
Okay. And needing to clear that energetically because this person won't speak to me. And so just honor, we're all on our own path. Yes,
Yes,
bless
we
bless
are.
you on your way. I am looking for my starry family who I'm here to work with and
Yes.
weave with in this life. And certain people will come across my path and I'm like, okay, and this isn't serving. Bye, goodbye, bless you on your path. I'm sending you nothing but love. And yes, those people will touch others as well. We're all on our own
Mhm.
unique path. And so when you and I started talking and we
Mhm.
started communicating, I was like, yes, this is one of my soul sisters. And I just love you dearly. I see you picked up your bowl. You're going to give us a little more.
Yes, and I want to
Yeah,
move
I want to
into
clear
our
that. Let me clear that
activation.
with you.
Yeah, and I think this is a
Yeah.
perfect time for us to move into the new leaders of the new golden age
Yes,
activation,
please. Okay,
and
great.
I am so honored that I mentioned that and that you had that, and so that could be a
I just
healing.
remembered something.
Mhm. And so
Definitely.
many have because it's very
Mm,
prevalent. I've run into this
mhm.
not just once. So I
Yep.
just invite you now to close your eyes, put your hand on your heart, one on your womb, or get comfortable. You can even lay down. You don't go to sleep. However you like to be comfortable. Let's let this is the bowl of the new golden age of light. The four alchemy frequencies. Just let it wash over you. As you open your inner temple with the breath in through the nose, and then audible breath out, opening your body and opening your frequency. You can even open your jaw. You can move your jaw, it breaks the neural nets. Opening your pelvic floor a little more, your psoas. Another breath. As we move into, it's a very special activation and we will move fast, but you'll receive everything you're meant to receive. And you're already being activated through the interview because everything I say is encoded. Even if it's just, hi, my name is Jennifer Shira, it's you're getting something from that. And so you've already moved into the activation. And so now we're going to journey with the beautiful sun tribe and the highest beings of light. So I invite you to open as beautiful Isis comes in and Father Ra, and we've been waiting for you. And I invite you to journey with me and journey with this beautiful golden beings of light. Yeshua, I see him in his white, he's a beautiful white robe on, beautiful glowing tan skin. As we are going to be traveling to the beautiful golden temple of Ra and the sun tribe and the thrones of the new king and the new queen of Sun King of Earth, above the island of Lesbos, Greece, where we opened this year and reignited at the ley lines. And this is the royal palace and the throne where you go to get dispensation, where you go to get help or guidance or visit with them. And so they are bringing in the new leaders. And so the new leaders of light are coming in today as they are going to be anointing you and activating you. And so as we journey up the beautiful golden steps, look down, and you have now dressed into a beautiful gossamer of light gown or tunic, as we are the priest and priestesses of light. And as they beckon you to come forward and their glowing golden auras, and you might see colors, you might see nothing at all, you might hear things, you might just have a feeling. I only can tell you what I see. But if you see blue or you feel, it's perfect. You'll see exactly what you're supposed to see or feel or hear. And if you feel nothing, no, it's happening anyway. And so as you walk up onto the dais of this huge golden palace, it has kind of a ancient Greek facade where it has like the pointed facade in the front and all the gigantic pillars that you couldn't even put your arms around. All of living light gold. It's not gold like you know of an earthly gold. It's a living, intelligent gold that's moving, and it breathes and it is undulating. And so as you walk across this beautiful floor towards Father Ra and towards Isis and Sekhmet, and Osiris has come in, and Yeshua, Mary Magdalene, I see Apollo, I see Aphrodite, and many other beings of light. And as you come in, they are blessing you. And as Isis steps forward, she speaks now. Oh, beautiful one, I have waited so many thousands and millions of ages to step before you now and bring you into who you are. The beautiful guides, initiators, and way showers, and the leader and kings and queens of the 9th dimensional, 12th dimensional codes of the new age of light that is opening on beloved planet Earth as the darkness and the contracts to keep Earth in the unknowingness has been released, and how you are helping to be the leaders, the buffers, the way showers, and the true guides to bridge that river as we step across this golden bridge together into the golden age of light and the new leaders. And as you are getting anointed with a golden elixir, I have a beautiful cup in front of me. And as I dip my finger, I put on your forehead this beautiful glowing crystalline golden elixir on your third eye. And as it touches your golden skin, you've moved into your golden light body. So just feel this now as you're no longer skin, you have moved into your light body. With a breath, an inhale and an exhale, you have moved into your light body. And as this golden elixir touches your third eye, it goes right, like sucks right into your pineal, and your pineal becomes disencrusted in a nanosecond. Isis and Osiris are now standing on either side of you, Hathor and Horus, front and back, and the four of them, the golden divine couples of sacred union on this 1111 of divine union, of the new union, the new codes of the leaders of light, the divine masculine, divine feminine, are no longer a separate entity in your body. No longer is your left your feminine and your right your masculine. It is now merged into double goddess, double God. And so feel this upgrade going through every cell, every particle of you, as you are, your foundation of your inner union and all the work you've done is now upgrading. So now with this foundation, the beautiful sacred couples standing around you, making a beautiful four-sided, like a circle of a beautiful star, are now upgrading you and encoding you as you have your unique gift and mastery. Each of you is different. Each of you has a facet of the diamond of this beautiful golden age, this new earth codes, and the Lemurian crystal above Bali, and the new codes, and the new palace in Lesbos, and the links to the Isis temple in Egypt, links to the Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, to the Knossos palace in Crete, to the temple of Aphrodite in Cyprus, and then it goes straight through diameter-wise all the way through the center of the earth to the other side to the Lemurian islands of Hawaii and the Indonesian area. So as we are now gridding, we are taking and beautifully giving back this energy of these beautiful poles of light as the poles of light are activating and opening codes of the lives you've walked. Isis now steps aside as Ra the Ra comes, and he has a beautiful scroll, and the scroll unfolds in front of you. And he reads off in light language of the Ra language of the sun in illuminated gold print your beautiful new codes of the leaders of the new golden age. And with your yes, nothing is without your free will. And take a breath, and with your agreement, he will continue. And as he reads them off, millions of souls come forward that are now going to be supporting you and coming into your life with new situations, events, and ideas, ways of being, embodiments, new realms of light that you have access to, new codes, new remembrances. And so just with this scroll and with your yes, it is so. And now they step aside, and the new Sun Queen of Earth walks forward in her beautiful golden gown. It's not fabric, it's just illuminated light, not of this world. And she comes forward, and she has the golden sword of the Sun Queen. And the sword was never a weapon to hurt anyone. It was the divine feminine swords were used, and then they were changed and manipulated to become a source of power and a source of hurting others. And so now with this new, we're going to return to the sword as it was, the divine feminine, holding this beautiful, because there's no masculine, no feminine, so it's just the oneness. So she holds this golden sword in front of you of the divine feminine, of truth and of balance. And think of 1111 as four swords straight up, temples, pillars of the temple. And as she stands in front of you, she taps your left shoulder, blessing you and incanting a beautiful light language above you. As the explosion above your head and your chakra opens a new portal for you. And then she takes the beautiful divine feminine sword of the Sun Queen and taps you on your right shoulder, anointing you and benighting you, the new leaders of the new golden age. And as she does this, I'm getting chills in my legs, so it's all happening. She recites a beautiful sun language to you, and it encodes as a circle around you, like a beautiful circle, like a new field. So you're getting, there's 5 major fields: your subtle, our bodies, your physical body, your energetic body, your physical body, your energetic, your emotional body. And then, some say then they fragment off and there are 10 or 12. Well, you're getting a whole new body, which is this encodements of these leadership codes and these light codes and these royal codes that you are now embodying and receiving today. And so it was one line of type, and then it went to more, and it becomes almost like a cocoon of light around you. And so as you walk through your life, this cocoon of light language will be affecting others and igniting others as you will ignite on your path as you continue to say yes. Now, these are very advanced codes, so if you manipulate them or you misuse something or you decide, no, I don't want to do that anymore, I'd rather just kind of regress or not go forward, they can be stopped or not advanced, because these will advance. These are just the beginning of your leadership codes. This is not the end. This is the beginning of you stepping into your higher frequency and your higher dimension of light. And so as the Sun Queen smiles at you, and Father Ra just had to kind of tell you the small print, sorry about that, but they have to tell you because these codes are so advanced, like the Sahu in all the Egyptian temples, the Sahu realm, when you work right with the direct goddesses, the highest activations of light are not permanent. It just, with your continued yes and continually working with the light and following your intuition and following your highest pureness, you will continue to grow and activate and ascend and activate higher in your leadership. And as the Sun Queen smiles at you and finishes, the Sun Queen is me. And that is I took that vow on solstice this year at the Sun Temple of Ra in Lesvos, Greece. And I was very reluctant to say yes, but I did. And all of you were with me in that moment because time is circular and not linear. And I thank you because I needed your support to step into this again. And I did say yes. And when you say yes and you follow your heart, and I didn't know what that really meant in this life because it's all new what we're opening, beloveds. It has been just magic since I said yes. And so I invite you to continue your yeses and all that is being asked of you because I did it. And I was like, oh, well, I need to, I don't know. Because then if you're more light, right, things come at you. And I had some things come at me recently in last year, and I'm not really a frontliner, and that's hard. And they said no, and ask for what you want. I asked for a buffer around me of angels and to slowly move me into it, and they agreed. So if you know you need something to help you get there, ask for it. Say, I really need 6 months for you to ease me in. Oh, okay. And they'll say, we'll give you 6 months and then we'll ease you into it. So you can always say what you know your human body needs, and you're moving to light. And so I bless you and I honor you with the Sun Queen sword of the divine light of the golden ray of the sun tribe of the goldest beings of light, as you are now moving in and you are now initiated, you are now activated as the light leaders of light of the new golden age on 11/11/2021, here and now. All contracts, agreements, dispensations, and planes and dimensions are upgraded to this new blueprint, this new truth, this new who you are on all multidimensional planes, continuums, and dimensions and realms for all time and space. And so it is. And so it is. Amen. And so it is. And I say ah with the AH. Ah, the God realm. And I thank you and I send you so many blessings, beloveds. And I could feel you with me on solstice of June 21. And only in this moment do I see how you were with me 5 years ago. And when I had to make my decision. And I was a big no for many weeks. Until the last moment, I was a yes. And so I invite you to hold and lean on us to make your decisions to move into the light of leadership, because you're so needed and you're so wanted and you're so held. And so I thank you.
Star seeds of the planet, the temple doors are open. You are invited to this sacred circle. May your leadership skills be activated within you. May your purpose, your passion, guide you. May you be led by your heart, your inner guidance system, your intuition, always coming back to the heart. Today is about co creating heart coherence individually and collectively. And so, Jennifer Ashira Ra, thank you so much for that blessed activation. Yeah,
Thank you,
I
beloved
really
Star.
felt it. A lot of surrender and release, a lot of influx of energy as well. So I
Yes,
would love
and
for
I
people.
I would
Yep.
love to hear, come and share. I love to hear if you felt something in the activation or you had a vision, or I would
Yes.
invite you to also journal immediately, because don't say, "Oh, I'll do it in a couple hours." Like, do it right away, because you'll have, or re-listen to this, you'll hear something else. And then also I have a freebie, the Galactic Heart Breath Transmission. So go below and click on that and receive even more of, because the golden age starts with your heart. And so you can visit this realm of light at any time.
Yeah, wonderful. You can also comment below too.
Yes,
Jennifer Shira Rock can take a look at those comments and respond to them after she's hosted her 11/11 gathering today.
I
We're all
know.
weaving. She's doing a live event in La Jolla. So,
Hmm.
bless you, sister. Thank you. I know we popped up your website earlier, but let's do it one more time so people know how to get a hold of you.
Oh, great. Yes, lightpriestesstemple.com. Come join the new community of light. And I'm so honored and just love to hear more from you as we connect our beautiful global communities together.
Yeah, wonderful. And for those of you who are interested and feel the call to be with us in Egypt next year for 11/11/2022, you can visit our website, 1111university.com/Egypt. And honestly, what we're calling it is the 1111 University Mystic Initiation, Sacred Pilgrimage, and Joint Research Expedition, because it's all of it. Right? We're all there to receive the codes, and we'll be co-writing an Egyptian code book for the 1111 Codex book series. So come on, come all. And I'm so grateful for this conversation, sister. And may
Mm,
all of your codes be activated and move forward into your life with the gifts that you were brought here to share. So,
absolutely. I love it. Thank you so much. I'm so honored, and I can't wait to connect with all of you.
And weave more. Yes.
Yes.
Happy 11/11, everyone. Have a beautiful
Blessings,
one.
11/11 blessings for everyone. I love you so much. Love you,
Mhm.
Anastara. I'm so happy that we're now together.
Yes, me too. Lifetimes together, and we just found each other in this
I
one.
know.
So there's much work to do, my love.
Yes, I can feel
Yay.
it. Much love to you.
Bye. Blessings.